Happy February! I'm back again with the Wheel of TBR. My goal is to take a huge bite out of my TBR, that's my to be read list, by reading at least 100 books in 2023. At the start of the year, I had 167 titles on my TBR list, and these are all printed books that I have purchased and they're sitting on my bookshelves. In January, I read 13 books, bringing my total down to 154 titles. You can watch this video to catch up on the books that I read in January. So what's my game plan for getting through my TBR without burning myself out? I'm using the Life Editor Reading Challenge worksheet. The Life Editor Reading Challenge has 30 different prompts that correspond to my 5-step life editing process. Click the link below to download your free copy of the Life Editor Reading Challenge worksheet so you can work on your reading goals right along with me. It's one of dozens of free printable resources in my editor's toolkit. I took all 30 prompts and I wrote them down on these paper circles. Then I shuffled them and randomly put 10 of them on my prize wheel. I already marked off the 5 prompts that I read in January. I'm going to give the Wheel of TBR a spin and then read a book that corresponds to that prompt. I'll choose 5 books from the Life Editor Reading Challenge every month, plus a few extra books that I personally want to read. If I read about 8 to 10 books every month, that will help me reach my 2023 goal of reading 100 books. Ready to see what I'm reading in February? Let's give the Wheel of TBR a spin. Here we go for book number 1. The prompt is a book that has the word love in it or is about love. So appropriate because it's February and Valentine's Day is coming up. And just so you know, my birthday is coming up too. I am adding new prompts as we go through them. Time for book number 2. The second book is a book about gratitude. I have tons of books about gratitude, so that should be pretty easy. Book number 3. A book about habits. Again, I have a lot of books about habits. If you've already given up on your New Year's resolutions, then maybe February would be a good time to read about habit change yourself. Book number 4. A book about a book club, library, or bookstore. I read the book Last Chance Library in January, so now I have to find another book about a bookstore. Let me know if you have recommendations. And finally, book number 5. A book about shifting your mindset. I love this prompt. It could be anything about law of attraction, positive thinking, or moving away from fear. There we have it. Here are the 5 prompts that I'll be reading from the Life Editor Reading Challenge in February. Love, gratitude, habits, a book club, library, or bookstore, and shift your mindset. Now that I've got my 5 prompts, I'm going to dig through my TBR, make my selections, and I'll be right back to share the titles with you. Hey there! If you're new here, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sage Grayson, and I'm a former book editor turned life and business coach. I'm a life editor, and so are you. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of my videos to help you get stuff done while still having fun. We're back, Life Editor! Here are the 5 books that I'm reading in February from the Life Editor Reading Challenge. The first prompt was love, so I'll be reading Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. Why am I reading something that sounds spooky for Valentine's Day? This was one of the many books that I had planned to read last October for Halloween. But when my dog died, I wasn't motivated to read anything, so I put a lot of those books on the back burner. I don't think Valentine's Day has to be reserved for romantic love, so I'm interested to read this book. It begins as an assignment for English class. Write a letter to a dead person. Laurel chooses Kurt Cobain because her sister, May, loved him, and he died young, just like May. Soon, Laurel has a notebook full of letters to the dead, to people like Janis Joplin, Heath Ledger, Amelia Earhart, and Amy Winehouse, though she never gives a single one of them to her teacher. For the next prompt, gratitude, I'll be reading Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. I've read several books by Pam Grout, and I've even read this one before, but it's been so many years that I don't really remember it clearly. Ever wonder why your thoughts easily create upfront parking spaces, but don't always produce the fat wad of cash or the hot guy? Could it be you're on a different frequency? Could it be there's static in your subconscious? I'm a sucker for anything that's related to the law of attraction, and I love how Pam uses gratitude to show us how we can attract the things that we want in our lives. And at the very least, it makes you thankful for what you've got right now. The next prompt was a book about habits, so I'll be reading 4 Seconds by Peter Bregman. This is one of those books that I think I started many years ago, maybe like read a chapter and then forgot about it. How can we be most effective and productive in a world that moves too fast and demands so much of us? In 4 Seconds, productivity expert Peter Bregman shows that the answer is to pause for as few as 4 seconds, the length of a deep breath, to ditch self-sabotaging habits for more productive behaviors. Quick and easy, we like that. The next prompt was a little tricky because it was to read a book that takes place in a library, bookstore, or book club. I searched and searched, and apparently I don't have many of those in my TBR, but I found one that's close enough. I'll be reading More to the Story by Hannah Khan. This is a young adult novel, which I don't read very many of. Jamila Mirza wants to be an award-winning journalist like her late grandfather and is thrilled to be selected as features editor of her school newspaper, a huge honor for a 7th grader. Unfortunately, the editor-in-chief keeps shooting down her article ideas. When she's assigned to write about the new boy in school who everyone is buzzing about because of his British accent, Jamila wonders how she'll make his story gripping enough to enter into a national media contest. Journalism, school newspaper, that's gotta be close enough, right? And the final prompt was a book about shifting your mindset. So I'll be reading It's All in Your Head by Stephen M. Pollan and Mark Levine. I love the subtitle, Thinking Your Way to Happiness. I've been in therapy on and off for years for my anxiety and depression. And as I mentioned in this video, unfortunately, the many medications that I've tried to manage my anxiety and depression don't work for me. Maybe that's your struggle too. So I gotta work with what I got, and that means using my mind to fix itself. I've read a few cognitive behavioral therapy books, and I really love them because it helps drag me out of that depressive state when nothing else is working. Leave a comment and let me know what works for you when you want to act happier and be more productive. But that's not all. I also chose 5 other books that I personally want to read but aren't on my Life Editor reading challenge. First up is Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellflower. I figure I better read a classic romance novel in February. And this one has so many 5-star reviews and has been on tons of bestseller lists. After a disastrous blind date, Darcy Lowell is desperate to stop her well-meaning brother from playing matchmaker ever again. Love and the inevitable heartbreak is the last thing she wants. So she fibs and says her latest setup was a success. Darcy doesn't expect her lie to bite her in the ass. Next, I'm reading Everything is Negotiable by Meg Myers Morgan. This is one of those books that's been sitting on my shelves for so long, and I keep saying, oh, I'm gonna read that one. I should read that one next. But now I'm actually doing it. 5 tactics to get what you want in life, love, and work. I think I could stand to be a little bit more persuasive and not such a pushover. Next, I'm reading another book that I had meant to read last fall. It's Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu. This is another graphic novel, and I think I want to try to read a graphic novel every month. One fateful night, teen witch Nova Wan follows reports of a white wolf in the woods and discovers her childhood crush, werewolf Tam Lang, battling a horse demon. Now, against the backdrop of a slowly rekindling romance, Tam and Nova must investigate the dark supernatural forces eager to claim wolf magic for evil. It sounds delightful. Let me know if you have suggestions for other graphic novels I should read. Next, I'm reading Breakfast with Buddha by Roland Marullo. I also think I should be reading a book about Buddhism every month. When his sister tricks him into taking her guru, a crimson-robed monk, on a trip to their childhood home, Otto Ringling, a confirmed skeptic, is not amused. 6 days on the road with an enigmatic holy man who answers every question with a riddle is not what he had planned. To round out my February books, I decided to sort my TBR list by shortest to longest. And here is the shortest book that I had on my shelves. Be Happy by Dr. Rebecca Ray. It's 35 powerful methods for personal growth and well-being. It's broken out into all these little happiness practices or happiness challenges, and this might be something that I could do for a challenge for another video, so I will let you know. Wish me luck as I conquer my TBR list and the Life Editor Reading Challenge over the next few months. If you want to start your own reading challenge, then please click the link below to sign up for my free Editor's Toolkit. You'll get dozens of printable worksheets, including the Life Editor Reading Challenge, plus printable ebooks, video workshops, and my recommended resources. Click the link below to get it all for free. Want more? Watch this video next to join my planning pajama party and choose your next big goals.